For the marksman, it doesn't matter how good he is at pulling triggers, if he hasn't aimed the barrel, he's not going to hit the target. And the same is true in golf. You may swing the club well, you may be a proficient striker of the golf ball, but the ball is less likely to go at your target if you're not aiming there. And what you mustn't do is underestimate how vitally important alignment is, and also how extremely difficult it is. For many people, they find the static mechanics of setup and alignment and aim more difficult than the swing mechanics. Don't underestimate how important good alignment is, and don't underestimate how difficult it is to achieve. Now, we have the familiar sort of railway lines. I've got two white planks either side of my golf ball, and the camera is in line with the ball and the white flag. I'm just going to let you imagine that I'm a rifleman and I have my rifle here aiming. I've only got to move my rifle barrel 2 or 3 inches to the left, and I'm actually aiming over the out of bounds fence through the gate. Conversely, if I go from the flag and I go 4 or 5 inches to the right, I've missed my target with the driver by about 50 yards. So we're talking about really, really fine detail. Where we aim the shaft is where the swing is going to be directed, and that in turn directs the golf ball's flight itself. Now, when you're at a driving range, you have the advantage of square mats, and it's important at the driving range and practice ground to make sure the mat you're practicing off is going at the target that's in front of you. Go to the trouble of finding the right target, or if necessary, you might need some help, just move the mat a little bit, but make sure that the mat you're hitting off is actually presented the target. Now the line from the flag to the ball through the camera to infinity is called the ball target line, okay? The mistake that a lot of people do is they put down an alignment stick or an alignment plank and they aim the plank at the flag. Now that's a big error, because if I aim this at the flag and then set up to the plank, I'm going to be aiming left. So in fact, this plank aims a little bit right of the flag. If I plumb bobbed here with my eyes, I can see that the ball and the flag are now, that line is parallel to the plank. Again, people make the error of pointing this plank at the flag. Well, that's a disaster. You'll be aiming right at the target. This is a parallel line. So let's just clarify that. The line from the flag to the ball through the camera to infinity is the ball target line. This is a parallel line. This plank is going about 15 foot left of the flag. This too is a parallel line. This plank is aiming about 15 from right of the flag. Now that's very helpful. If we bolt that information onto what we did earlier with the pre-shot routine, I walk in, my left foot is opposite the ball, I go through my routine, I feel happy, I can see that my blade is square, my feet are parallel, it all feels comfortable. So all I've got to do now is create power and hit the shot. So, good alignment is key. And when you practice putting down some planks that I have here, or a couple of extra clubs, but many of you will own those fluorescent sticks. They're very helpful. You can carry those in your golf bag all the time, and they've got much more than one use. So if you put your fluorescent rods on the ground or some clubs, you get the same effect as my plank. Now, with regard to aiming the body parallel to these planks, we have to understand the way we aim the shaft. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the camera around to a face-on position, and we're going to show you how we aim the shaft at address. So having used these two white planks to help our alignment, I've now rested my 6-iron across this plank at a right angle to give you an understanding of A, ball position, B, and more importantly, aiming the shaft. Now the driver is the easiest club to aim. If you rest it on a hard surface, if the shaft's at a right angle to the target line, you know the face is square. The danger is if you have the shaft 4 inches behind the ball, you're aiming in the left rough. Not the left semi, the left rough. If the shaft is ahead of the ball by 4 inches, you're going to be aiming in the right rough. Again, not the right semi, but the right rough. We're talking about inches here being important on a 300-yard tee shot. So, I would walk into my shot on the tee, left foot opposite the ball. Now I present the shaft of the driver a dead right angle and you can see that that is parallel to the club on the floor. So left foot up at the ball, step in, the club sits on its bottom, and the shaft is behind. The shaft is now a right angle and is correctly parallel to the club that's on the floor. So aiming the shaft is more important than aiming the face. Now I can take my grip, that shaft is parallel, all I have to do now is load the shoulder and release the shot. So there you go, 270 withdraw, that's the truth. So there we've just hit the driver, and I feel that the driver is the easiest to aim because the shaft's a right angle. I'm now going to present my 6-iron. Now obviously I come close to the ball, the blade's a right angle to target, but the butt of the club will be over the ball, okay? What I used to think it was driver, 6-iron, wedge. Well, that may be true with the ball position, but I got progressively more and more cupped here. So there's the shaft at right angle, I'm not cupped. When I take my 6-iron now, the shaft is above the ball and the ball is left centre. You can see it's here in my stance. The shaft is leaning considerably. Then when I go to wedge, the ball is dead centre, the shaft leans the most. So you can see it's progressive. Driver shaft perpendicular, 6-iron just over the ball, and the butt of the club just past the ball. So the shaft lean, like ball position itself, is progressive. Again, it helps to have the 2 planks or the 2 fluorescent strips and this ball position marked by my 6-iron resting on the ground. So there you have it. Aim the swing by aiming the shaft, but understand also there is an element of shaft lean.